Michael here with another Michael's Guitar Reviews. This one is, of course, a Resonator guitar. Resonator guitars started out in the 1920s because more volume was needed in order to compete with brass instruments particularly and other instruments in bands and other ensembles. So these were developed and they're really quite interesting. The way that it works is that the energy, or the sound if you like, the vibrations, are transmitted from the strings through a bridge which is often called a biscuit, down through the body of the guitar into a spun metal cone. Sometimes it's a single cone, sometimes it's a triple cone, they're called tricones, and sometimes the cone is inverted and that's called a spider cone. These guitars are very often played with a slide, bottleneck, call it what you like. There are lots and lots of different types of these. This one just happens to be a glass one that was handy. Tunings for these guitars vary enormously. This particular one, however, is tuned D-A-D, F-A-D. So if you wanted to tune yours similarly, that's what this particular one is. But, you know, there are lots and lots of alternatives. These guitars were also made either with a C profile or rounded neck, or with a square neck. Now those with a square neck, they're not meant to be played this way. They're meant to be played lying down, not you lying down, the guitar lying on your lap. They were called lap guitars or lap steel guitars. And the player would then use the bottleneck or the slide along the top of the strings whilst playing like this. So two different types essentially, and at least three different types of internal workings or cones. There were also a variety of either F-holes or round holes sometimes. These vary enormously, so if you look around at different types of Resonator guitars, you will see a whole range of different styles. Steel strings, of course, and the tailpiece sits tightly against the this metal disc, which is perforated in all sorts of different designs you can get on different ones. Bodies may be made of wood, as this one, or they may be made of bell brass or steel. So there are whole different types. You may have seen chrome ones, or you may have seen ones that have got a golden yellow colour. All sorts of different types. And on this particular one, I'll just talk about this guitar first of all, because obviously this one's the one that we're reviewing today. Its name, or the brand name, is Rogue. These are a relatively inexpensive guitar, manufactured in this case in South Korea. I'll start with the top. It's got a slotted headstock, which is traditionally found on classical type guitars, as well as a large number of acoustic guitars as well. So it's a slotted headstock. The tuners themselves appear to be quite robust, but actually it's not the case. They're very sloppy and imprecise, although they do look quite strong when you look at them, and the plate on which they sit is relatively thick. So I thought at first this was going to be quite good quality, but they're not. They're very sloppy, and what do you expect? It's a cheap guitar. The nut appears to be plastic. It's cut quite precisely. The neck itself is a comfortable, ordinary C profile. It has what appears to be a rosewood fingerboard with traditional dot inlay markers there and on the side. And it's moderately heavy compared to many acoustic guitars because, of course, internally it's got this metal structure as well, so that makes it heavier. Some of these are amplified, some are acoustic, so in this particular case it's just a straightforward acoustic model. Just one more thing to mention, the action of these guitars is traditionally much higher than would be comfortable for normal guitar playing. So the strings will sit further away from the fingerboard. There's a larger gap here. That means that you're able to press down the strings using your slide to get a clearer sound. So in other words, using the slide, you need to press down and slide up to the note you want or down. And you may play, of course, with the plectrum, or you may play fingerstyle, stroke it with your thumb, or various fingers. Now, before we continue, just one thing I'd like to say, and that is, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more the channel gets visible, and the more people can share our love of guitars. It costs you nothing, there are no catches, and also I'm always very happy to receive any constructive feedback or comments. Right, now that we've said that, what does it sound like? Well, here's a departure from the normal way that I do things on this channel. Usually I just talk about the guitar, but today, because we've got a slide guitar, or a resonator guitar, I thought I'd be slightly irreverent, and maybe even irrelevant, and do you a little song. And this song is done in the genre of the Deep South. So here goes, folks. I hope you like my song. It's a love song. I know you like love songs. Here's one just for you. It goes something like this. I wanted you so much, although you're rather bush. I thought you were really pretty. You moved me to create the best song I could make. I came up with this here ditty. Well, you held me in your arms and promised me your charms. That was my first mistake. You really wanted me just for my money and took all that you could take. Oh, why are you so sad? It surely ain't that bad. Or is it really that you're crazy? To you and helped you to pull through, but I'm just too darn lazy. Well, you held me